Hi and welcome to Python tutorial for payroll management system with a calculator. Let me show you guys how this works. I'm going to reset there, and let's clear this as well, and let's enter new employee details. Let's say the name is Sally. Kushudi. And address is, let's call that Johnson Lane. And employer name, let's say the employer name is Omen Aviation. Okay, Omen Aviation. And with an allowance, wages is about that, overtime, any extra pay, and just check out the rest details of Sally. As a female, and click on payment. There we go. And we can even cross check what we have in here. And let's say we have 344 plus, so we just need to now click on total. There we go, 2,721. So what I'm going to do now is to take you guys straight into Python development environment, and we put one of these together. Let's do that now, guys. So I'm going to import as follows. So let's say from, click enter, let's import it all, and import as follows as well. So I will now create my class. Well, first thing, let's just get rid of one of these message boxes. I'll create my class and we'll take it from there. Let's say class payroll, and I'm going to enter semicolon in there. So the next thing I'd like to do now is to define my function. So let's say dev and initial. So that is going to be self, because I'm going to be using the class. So self, comma, root, and enter column there as well. Now I'm going to say self.root. That's, I just want to define my interface. Self.root equals root. Alright, that is going to be the name of my app. Self.root.title, and I'm going to just call that payroll system. Let's put an S, systems. Let's just say system. Okay, now the next thing is to define the size of my, or the screen resolution. So self.root.geometry, and I'm going to make define my screen as 1350 by 800, and that will be +0 +0. So close that up there. And the next thing is, let's just say self.configure the background. So let's make the background color, I'm just going to call it Gamesboro. Self.configure, and background equals, let's say games borrow. There, close that. Now Before I do anything, I'm going to declare all of the variables that I intend to use. So I'm going to need employee name, that's going to be string variable, and as follows. And right there, guys, all of the variables that I intend to use, they are all declared, and these two have initialized 0 value in them. Okay, now I'm going to now create my framework, or how I want the interface to look like. But before that, I'm just going to round up my program there. So that is me rounding up my own program now. But if I decide to save it, let's save it as maybe advanced payroll Python. Okay, advanced payroll. Save that. If I run it now, all you just see is going to be a gray screen. There will be nothing. So let's run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. Oh, that was supposed to be a column, not a semicolon. So run it again. There we go. That's all there is to it. So I'm going to close that, and right underneath here, I'm now going to define my framework, or the frame that I intend to embed into the program. So the frame, I'm calling my frame main frame, and the name of the widget is called frame. So I'm going to say the frame that will be self.root, because the frame is going to be inside the root. So I'm going to say bg, add a kind of like border, make that about 10, and the width, I'm going to make the width approximately 1350 comma, and I'm going to enter the height for my project. I would make that about 700 comma. Then the background color, I'm just going to make that Gainsborough as well. All right, so one more thing, let's say relief, let's make that rigid. There we go, and close that. All right, so I will now round up this my frame mainframe dots grid. There we go. Now if I run this program, let's save it first. You just see only a grid around it. You might not even be able to see it properly, but there we go. That's it. Okay, look at it. Alright, so I'm going to copy it. Let's copy that and just change it around. So the first one, I'm going to call that top frame. Let's say top frame 1, because I'm going to have about 3 of them. Top frame 1. And top frame 1 is resident right inside mainframe. Okay, this is where my heading is going to be there. Okay, and this is going to be top frame as well. Copy that and paste it here. So instead of grid, okay, we'll leave it like that. And the height, okay, let's change the height to 100. So that's the top frame 1. I'm going to grab another one, copy that, paste that there. Another frame that I'm going to call that top frame 2. Right, and that is going to be 100 as well, so that's fine. So I need another one to make it 3, and top frame 2 is going to be inside mainframe as well, while top frame 3 is going to be inside mainframe as well too. Yeah, and let's get this indented properly. I'm going to run it so that you guys see what I'm talking about. So let's go to run, and there we go, those are the frames. Okay, now that you guys get your idea, I'm just going to copy this and change things around. So come right here, let's paste it there, and I'll just speed it up. Okay, these are all my frames. They are now ready for us just to run. So this is where I got to before I had to speed it up. So have a good look at the lines of code for those frames. You're gonna truly need them. Okay, I'm gonna take it down so that you see the rest of it. There, these are all my frame. Now you understand why I had to speed it up. There, I'm going to run it now. You can always pause your video so that you copy it out. So let's run it. There we go. And this is how the design is looking now. Right up here, I'm going to enter my title, some names in there, okay, some widgets in there actually, and the rest of them will be widgets. Right here there's going to be the payroll pay slip, yeah, and there will be some buttons here. Okay, now the first one I want to address is this very frame here. I think I will now, let's address the title first. So let's come right down here. Now underneath here, let's enter, just enter a broken line or round place right here, and that'll be my title. So the title is going to be right inside a label widget. That is going to be called title. LBL title equals label, and is right inside top frame 1, comma. Let's define the font as well. The font is going to be Arial. Alright, okay, and the fonts, let's make that about maybe 40, comma, and we'll make it bold as well, bold. There, comma, right. So this is the text that will be inside the label itself, payroll management system. Okay, so right underneath here I'm going to enter the back color. That's going to be Gainsborough as well, and comma, might as well let's get it, justify center equals center. There we go. So let's round up the whole thing, copy that and come right down here, press close that first, press enter, and dot grid. It's going to be row equals 0, comma, column equals 0 as well. Close that. I think that will be all for the title. So let me save and run it. Let me see. There we go. That's my title right there. Good. So close that. Now that the title is taken care of, I'm going to copy that and just use that for my employee. First thing first, just divide that, and right in here, this is going to be for my employee. Change the name, to employee name. Right, I'm gonna copy that, paste that in here. For the employee, that is going to be, that's the label that is displaying the details of the employee, and right in here I'm gonna come in here and I'm going to enter the name employee right there, employee name. Okay, we're going to be using Gainsborough as well, so might as well just copy that and paste it right here. There we go. And what else do we need? And right there, guys. So if I run this now, let's see, there we go. So I'm just going to add a text box or a text widget right here. There, that is the text widget for that, and the text widget is on row 0 column 1. Why? The label is on row 0 column 0. So let's run that, save it first. There we go. Okay, let's create the next one. I'm just gonna copy all of this, copy, and let's paste it right underneath, and we'll take it down a little bit. So this is going to be in column 2 as well. Okay, no, top frame 2, and this is column, this is going to be, the row will have to be 1 and row 1 here as well. Okay, and this is, let's just change the details of these to address. I want the address there. Yeah, I'm just going to change that to address. Now copy it, copy the address, and repeat the same thing here. Okay, so that is how you create your widget. So I may have to, I'm going to have to speed it up because of time. So let's run it and see. Run. And there we go. See, I need to change this. That should be address. Come right here and change that to address. And the variable is going to be address. Let's see what variable did I assign. Yeah, it's just going to be address. Look at it right there. Okay, that's employee. Come right down here and change this text variable is address. There. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just copy all of this and speed up the whole process. Come right down here, paste, and let's speed it up. Alright guys, I had to speed this up because there's a lot of code to write. Okay, just have a good look at it. That was the very first one we developed together. This was the copied one that was changed, and I then used those to change as follows. So have a good look at them, and please do take note of the variables. I had to change the variables as well, and if, as you can see, the variables are related to each of the widget. I'm going to bring it down so that you guys see the rest of the codes. You can always pause it to have a good look at it. And to those of you who are my channel member, thank you. If you want this code, just let me know. Okay, take it down. That is for the left frame, the left frame. If you notice, I've changed the location of each widget as well, and take note of the text variable as well. Take it down, and once more, and again. Now I'll take it up to there, and that's all for now. So if I run the program, this is what you guys will see there. As you can see, there's nothing in here. So what I'm going to do is to add a calculator here. Okay, there's going to be a text widget here and some buttons, and here we have 3 buttons. So let me exit out first. Then the first thing I'm going to do now is let me come up right here where I have all my variables, and I will declare a global variable right here. This is where I have all my variables. So let's declare the following. So I'm going to call that text underscore input, that will be for the calculator, equals string. There. And I will declare another one. I'm going to call that a global variable that is going to be known as operator. There we go. And this very operator, I'm going to set the value to none. So come right down here, paste, and say there's nothing inside it. That is that taken care of, the extra variable for the calculator. Okay, I'm going to come right down here. All right, have a look at the codes. So I'm going to take it down just gradually. Those are the frame, the framework, the title, and the other widget. Take it right down, and here, right underneath here, I'm going to enter the buttons for the calculator. Okay, first thing is, let me declare a value, and this one is going to be for the text widget. So maybe here, let's just enter calculator. Right, this will be for my display, so I'm going to call that txt display. Txt display equals entering widget, and this entering widget has the following. It's going to be right inside the frame, right frame, and that very right frame is going to be 1A, comma, and I then enter the font that I intend to use. Let's copy that, paste it right there. The size of this font, let me make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to set it for 19 now. And the variables, the variable is going to be text variable equals text underscore input. The variable, if you guys can still recall, the variable that was declared right here, this very one, text underscore input, that's the variable that I intend to add here. Now I want to make the border equals 5, then insert width. I'm going to make that about, let's say that is 4, and let's get it justified right. Justify that right, and enter a comma there, and enter right here. There we go, and close that. So let's round up the whole process here. There we go, and that is going to be dot grid. And this grid, I would like it to, the column to span 4 columns there. So I'm going to save that, save and run. Let's see how that's going to look like. There we go, guys. Okay, that's for my display. So right underneath the display, I'm going to now create some buttons. So let's say the very first button is going to be self dot btn number 7 equals button. and this very button that is number 7 is going to be right inside here. There's going to be font and so on added to it as well. Paste that in there. And what about padding? Okay, let's move this in here. Let's say I'm going to get it x value. I'm going to make that maybe about 6. I can always change it later on. And the y value, padding y is going to be 9. Okay, what else do I need? Let's say font. I think the default font is always black anyway, so even if I don't enter fonts there, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to make this, let's say it's going to be about 16, and the width is equals 4. Yeah. And what else do I want to do? What about the text on it? The text on it is 7, number 7. And now let's use one of the inbuilt function known as lambda. Lambda column, that is going to be btn click, and let's enter 7 in there. Right, dot grade, and the column, the row is going to be roll number 1, and column is going to be 0 equals 0. That's my very first button. First button taken care of. Let's run it and see how that's going to look like. There, that's good. Now what I'm going to do is saying btn click is not defined. No problem, we can take care of that later on. I'm just going to copy, paste it, and change it around. Let's get this indented. That will be for button 8, and so on, guys. This will be 9, 9 here, and 9 here. Okay, let's run this and see how it's going to. Oh no, let's change this first. This will be 1, and this is 2. So let's run it. There. Okay, we need to change the text content on it. The text here is 8, and the text here is 9. So let's run it again. There we go. Okay, close that, and I'm just going to copy all of this and speed it up. So take a good look at it, because I'm going to speed it up now. Alright, I had to speed up the whole process. Those are all the buttons, but as you saw earlier on, the btn click gave us an error. So if I run it now, I end up with an error because the function is not written yet. So I'm going to come up here. Those are the rest of the codes, so take a good look at it. I'm now going to come right underneath here, or up here, yeah, and I'm going to write my function for the calculator. Let's say calculator function. There we go. Now the first function that I'm going to declare is going to be that of btn click, and btn click takes in the argument numbers. Enter column there. Now I'm going to say global variable operator, and operator in this case equals operator plus convert whatever value we have inside number to string, and text input takes in the value in here, the value which is operator there. So that is taken care of. I'm going to declare another one to clear. Copy that, come in here, paste, and this I'm going to call it clear, btn clear display. This takes in no argument, so we'll get rid of the number in there. We still have our operator, but this time around this operator is going to be cleared. There we go, and the data that we have in here will be cleared as well. That is fine. And the last one is going to be for equals. The equals, the purpose of that is to sum up, so I'm going to say btn equals input inputs there, and we have the global variable there, and in here we're going to sum up as follows. So let's come in here and say sum up equals convert to string, and that will be evaluate the operator, and the input is going to be sum up. Copy that, and let's just reposition this because we're gonna play it. There we go. Okay, now that the whole function is taken care of for the calculator, let's run it and see how that's going to look like. There we go, that's the calculator now. Multiply by this, clear. Alright, the calculator is working, that's fine. Okay, now I need 3 buttons here underneath there. So come right down. Okay, take it down, and right underneath here I'm going to add 3 buttons. Copy this and just paste it right underneath here. There we go. Okay, as for the buttons, I'm just going to copy one of these, maybe this or whichever. Let's grab this. And paste that right underneath here, and I'll just change the name around. So this one is going to be known as btn payment, right? And I'll change the frame as well. The frame is going to be right frame 1b. Okay, let's add some space here. This will be 16 and this will be maybe 14. And what about the border? Let's make that 5. And this, maybe I'll leave it at 16 for now. And this is going to be 0. Get rid of the command for now. And the value we have on this, I'm going to call it payment. There. Okay, maybe bring this up here, make it one line. Okay, let's repeat the same thing for the other two buttons. Come right down here, paste and paste, and this is going to be known as reset. Why I'll call this very one exit. There we go, exit here as well, and this is reset. And right here that will be 1 and 2, 1, 2. There, I think my buttons are ready, so let's run it and see. There we go, guys. We have all my buttons in place, but there's nothing happening. Meanwhile, this works anyway. There, that's fine. And this one do nothing. Okay, let's take care of the exit, reset, and so on. So I'm going to exit out here. So let's come up right here. You see right underneath where I have the functions for the calculator. I'm going to enter as follows. Just copy this and enter exit there. This is going to be, this function is going to be for exit. I may have to speed things up. And right there, those are the lines of code for my exit function. Okay, I'm going to take care of the reset as well. So I'm going to copy this and paste it right here. Just call this reset. And I might as well just copy all of the variables. I'm going to use that as my reset function. So come right here, paste them underneath here, but before then I'm going to enter the name of my function there. The function is going to be known as reset. There, come right there, paste that, and get all of these indented. I think here format, get it indented, and delete all of this. Dot reset. There. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the rest. Copy and paste. So that is the reset taken care of. Straightforward, that's it. I'm going to speed that up. That's the reset sorted. Reset and exit sorted. So we might as well come right here, take a good look at exit and reset first. Okay, now come right down here, and underneath here I'm going to enter as follows to run things up. Okay, I'll just, let's say command, copy that, paste it in here. Command in this case, we don't have anything for payment yet, so I'm going to paste that here, and this one is going to be known as exit. I exit, that's the name of that. Why this one is known as reset? That is reset. And this, I'm going to just call this, let's call it payment. Yeah, payment with an S. Let's create that very function, else I will end up with an error, or delete that for now. Just delete it for now. Then we'll run our program and see how that's going to look like. Okay, I've called the resets, and I've also called exit. So come right up here, run the program, and make sure those two works. Okay, we just enter some whatever in there. Alright, and I'll have some data in there. Let's click on our reset button. There, that's fine. And exit is working as we want. Okay, now let's take care of the last one. and that's going to be, I'm just going to call that maybe, copy these and paste it there. Paste. And inside this very function, I'm going to declare the following. So I'm going to call this payment function. Payment function. There we go. And call this, yeah, maybe copy this and just paste it in there. Payment function. One word. Right. And this very payment function, I'm going to call it right inside my button payment. Right here. Comma, command equals payment function. There we go. Alright, so now let's write some codes, or we can just speed that up anyway. And right there, guys, I had to speed this up. Here are the lines of code for my payment function, from here down here. Those are the lines of code for the payment function. Take a good look at it. If you notice, I have a function up there, and that very function is just to generate reference and a random number generator for national insurance number. This is for date. National, that is national insurance number code, and this is for the tax as well, tax code. Okay, there we go. And I then call this function right inside payment function. So take a good look at the lines of codes again. Payment function, and there. So up here I have all of the functions. Calculator function, exit function, reset function, reference function, pay reference, national insurance number, date, national insurance code, tax code, and the payment function. So let's run this program and see how it works. There we go. Enter the details of these guys in there. Let's say his name is Bobby Bolter. What a name. And address of Mr. BB, 47 Little Town Road. Okay. Name of employee, I'm going to just call that Kensington. Wages, there, that's city wages, and here is basic pay, overtime, nothing here. Postcode, Bobby's male, and a female can be called Bobby as well, so let's say female. Yeah. And there, all we just need to do now is to click on payment. There we go, guys. Look at that. We can add this up to validate the gross pay there, plus 2,454 plus 45. There we go, guys. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this advanced payroll management system with calculator. Please do subscribe to my channel, and I will be very happy if you can join and become a member of the channel as well. You all have a nice day now, and bye for now.